Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, June 28, 2022. Government is urging Jamaicans to report incidents of illegal connection to the National Water Commission (NWC's) pipelines. In making the call, Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, says that while government will finance the upgrade of water supply systems, citizens must hold themselves and their neighbors accountable for theft.
We literally cannot continue to supply those who steal the commodity. It is unfair to those who pay their water bills every month, and I encourage residents to quietly and discreetly be informers and inform the police, and they will pass it on to us.
Minister Samuda was speaking recently as he commissioned into service Phase 1 of the Barron Hill to Samuel Prospect pipeline replacement project in Trelawney. The 8.1-kilometer project was done by NWC at a cost of $275 million. Approximately 11,500 residents from communities such as Brampton, Rio Bueno, Jacksontown, Braco, Calabar, Samuel Prospect, Hatfield, Red Valley, and Betheltown will benefit. It's part of a $2.1 billion investment in Trelawney's water systems. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson is urging Jamaicans to involve the police early in domestic disputes to quell conflict before any lives are lost.
If you start to see the conflict within the community, even within the household, let the police know. They may be able to do an intervention. We can also do referrals. We have our own chaplaincy. We have our own counselors. We can get into these conflicts and see if we can resolve them.
Major General Anderson is also calling on citizens to utilize the services available at the 10 domestic violence centers that have been established at police stations across the island. He was addressing the recent groundbreaking for the new state-of-the-art Lacovia Police Station in St. Elizabeth. The over 5,000 square foot complex is being built at a cost of $175 million by the National Housing Trust. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says it has made significant strides towards meeting the targets for cervical cancer prevention and control. These are targets set out by the Pan American Health Organization (PAHO) Plan of Action for 2018 to 2030. Among the ministry's achievements are the development of a national plan for cervical cancer elimination with support from PAHO and establishing screening guidelines for the disease. The National Screening Guidelines for Priority Non-Communicable Diseases include standards for cervical cancer screening in the 21 to 64 years target group. It also provides recommendations for screening via pap smears or human papillomavirus HPV testing for women 30 to 64 years of age. Implementation of the guidelines has started through the Health System Strengthening Project for the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases (NCDs). Further to that, increased awareness and screening will be promoted as part of the life stage and integrated approach in primary care centers. The Ministry of Health and Wellness provided the update at the 170th session of the PAHO Executive Committee meeting recently. The Bodles Research Station in Old Harbour St. Catherine will be able to increase the number of seed plots following the donation of 2 farm-all tractors by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says donation of the equipment, valued at $15.6 million, is part of a drive to improve the output of the research station. It's also intended to assist the team in meeting the 150-pound seed target for hot peppers that will result in 970 hectares of the crop.
These tractors will be used to pull farm implements and to establish seed production plots for hot peppers, pumpkins, sorrel, and other crops. The addition of these new tractors is really a welcomed asset.
Deputy Research Director at Bodles, Michelle Sherwood, says the vehicles will also allow the facility to boost the production of haylage and silage.
We take very seriously the charge that you have given us in terms of being able to lead the research and being able to provide new technologies that will be needed to further the growth of the agricultural sector.
The Agriculture Minister says another $15 million was approved to assist with the clearing of spaces for pasture development at Bodles. Students in 32 secondary schools are being targeted to receive coping skills for stress and valuable psychosocial and wellness resources. Between June 27 and 30, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is moving a team of mental health professionals into the schools to bring wellness resources to the young people. Other schools will also benefit by virtually joining in the sessions, which are aimed at enhancing the mental wellness of the children as part of the recovery efforts from the COVID-19 pandemic. The initiative is part of an ongoing effort by the ministry, working with its education counterpart, as well as Senator Dr. Sophia Longmore and the Jamaica Psychiatric and Psychological Associations. And finally, 14 ambassadors from 8 churches in Kingston have received certification for handling conflict after completing a values and attitudes training course organized by the government. The 10-week training course under the Hope Area Churches Organization, HACO, is part of government's efforts to reduce crime and violence within communities while instilling moral values. Minister of Education and Youth Fable Williams welcomed the support and partnership of the churches during an award ceremony held at St. Peter and Paul Church in Kingston over the weekend.
We must all act urgently to save a generation. It's about the hearts and minds of all of us.
The training course was done under the Ministry of Education and Youth's Respect Agenda campaign and aims to empower the ambassadors to organize similar training courses for members of their communities. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.